You see these numbers here, 120 to 130, 105 to 130, 130, 115, 100, 140, 100, 180 to 280, 130, 200, remote work positions. These are all job offers that I received last year alone. I actually received 107 different ones. They all came to me through one platform called LinkedIn. Now, if you're not on LinkedIn, this is the number one reason you should be. It's really a job generating machine for me. And I've really figured out in the last 2.5 years to turn this thing into a system to generate those types of job offers for me. And it's taken me from having to worry about like ZipRecruiter and Monster and applying and trying to prove myself in these interviews and crossing my fingers to hope that I get the interviews to making it very passive, as you just saw there, right? Like I have 107 different ones that came in. This year I'm on track to do more than that. And they just come to me in my DMs. I just basically get a pick from the litter now of what company I want to work for, how much money I make, and what I'm going to be doing inside of that job. So if you want to do the same thing, I'd really pay attention to these next 5 tips that we're going to go through of how I've been able to do that. Starting off with number one. Number one here is our profile picture, okay? Now, a lot of people approach this a little bit different because they get on LinkedIn and they see it as like this old school platform, and it is a little bit different. But when it comes to your profile picture, it doesn't always have to be a suit and tie, and you definitely still want something that's high quality. Now, one of two things usually happen here. One is somebody doesn't post a profile picture at all. They stay anonymous, and that seriously kills any chance of really having these types of things happen because they can't put a face to whoever's posting, commenting, get to know you. So having a profile picture shows you take it serious, shows your professionalism, allows them to get to know you, and really kind of put a face to who it is that's talking on the platform. So that's number one. Number two, though, is a lot of people will get on here and they pick something that's kind of cheesy. Like they go with this idea where it's like, well, it's LinkedIn, it's professional, I gotta be business. And so they put themselves in like a suit and a tie, or they pick this like very out of the characteristic profile picture, usually like not representing who they are, okay? And I wouldn't say that that is a bad thing. Definitely think about the industry you work in, and if that makes sense, definitely do that. But what I want to break down is you don't need to. In my industry, it's very rare for somebody to come into the office wearing a suit and tie. Like I work in tech, work with Salesforce. It's just not the culture. So to have me posted up here in a suit and tie, probably not the worst thing I could do, but at the same time, it's also not like an industry standard for me. So I'm just kind of in some casual clothes here. It's a great way to represent who I am, stay unique to who I am. Also kind of fits in with what I'm doing in my industry itself. So number one, definitely make sure you have a profile picture set up. The best way you can check yourself on that is to go to a website called photofeeler.com. Now when you go to PhotoFeeler, you'll upload a picture. You'll click on that picture. And this is going to give you an idea of the type of vibe that your profile picture is going to give off. So if you are in business, you're trying to push business, upload your picture, click on business, and this is going to tell you the traits that this profile picture itself reads off as. Competent, likable, influential. All things that I'd want to keep, obviously. So I've loved the picture for those types of things that it reads off as. Social, same idea. Confident, authentic, fun. So you can do that here. Now that part's obviously free. You can go to the next page here, and this part I believe you have to sign up for, get some credits. But you can run a very precise test, obviously in their direct words. But basically what that does is it gives you some feedback on the picture and tells you what you could do to improve it and how to maximize like a score so that you're giving off the right impression. So if you're new to this, and in a lot of cases, people on LinkedIn not sure really what to post here, I would recommend doing this, and then you can kind of go through and get some feedback on what kind of picture you want to utilize for yourself. At the end of the day, don't overthink it. Just try to pick something that's going to represent you well. Number two, you want to represent the type of skills that you have on your LinkedIn profile. When you think of your LinkedIn profile, it is this all-encompassing place that lives on the platform that is all going to be searchable by some type of keyword. And if you think about this in general, the internet, when you Google something, if you're Googling something, and we'll take mine, for example, Salesforce. Well, if I Google something with Salesforce, and let's say I have a blog, or let's say I have a YouTube channel, and I never use the word Salesforce, but that's what I'm trying to advertise, How likely do you think it is that somebody is going to find me for the word Salesforce? Very, very unlikely. Probably never, because I never even mentioned it, right? So you want to play into it that way, which is that's the same thing that you're doing here on LinkedIn. You're trying to figure out, okay, what skills do I have? What kind of job do I want to be hired for? What kind of people want to follow me? And what I got to do is I got to reverse engineer that. So what that means is I got to think of the things that they're going to be looking for and use those keywords in the things that I talk about. So in my case, I'm in Salesforce. I want to talk a lot about Salesforce. So I have it here in my banner. I have it in my headline. I have it in my URL up here, actually. I have it on this link. I have it throughout this entire thing. Everything that I talk about almost always uses the word Salesforce. So it makes it very easy when a recruiter, let's say, types in, Salesforce admin up top. And then it's going to give us the results of all those people that are Salesforce admins. And the more active I am on here and the more I've talked about that, the more likely it is that I'm going to pop up here, right? So you want to look at the things that you're trying to get a job doing and use them on your LinkedIn profile. Great tool for that, resumatch.io, okay? You can come over here. What I'd recommend is go to 10 to 20 different job descriptions. So once again, if you're a Salesforce admin, you want to get a Salesforce admin job, go look up 10 to 20 different job descriptions, paste them in here, and this is going to run a scan for you, telling you the keywords that were in that job description. Then you're going to take those keywords and make sure that you use them inside your LinkedIn profile. I'd also, side note, probably update your resume as well if you don't have those on there. It's a really easy way to make sure that you're being found for the things that they're looking for. Just kind of problem solving on the fly there, right? They have a problem. This is what they're looking for a job. You now have that on your profile, so they're going to find you for it. It's a really easy one when you think of it that way. Number 3, I would recommend updating your headline here. So your headline, when you go to post, when you go to comment, when you go to like things, 3 things pop up. Your profile picture, your name, and then this little headline or your slogan. And so when I'm commenting on other people's stuff, the thing that they're going to see is my profile picture, like I said, my name, and then whatever I've decided to put here. So I really want to use this space in a unique way. If I want to get a job, once again, as a Salesforce admin, I probably want to say why I'm a good Salesforce admin, or how I help as a Salesforce admin, or what I've done as a Salesforce admin, or how I stand out doing that job. For me, I offer obviously all this content and course, so I want people to know right off the bat, if I'm not commenting on, my own stuff, I'm commenting on someone else's, I want them to be able to quickly see how I can help them, how I can provide them with value. So help beginners learn Salesforce and get hired. Really easy, straight to the point, catches their attention to hopefully click on me, come over to my profile and view what I'm doing, right? So that's tip number 3. Make sure you write a really simple, clear to the point, what you offer headline. Number 4, let's scroll down to our featured section. So featured section, this is very unique to LinkedIn, but you could think of it as like a pinned post. So like when you go to LinkedIn or you go to TikTok, when you go to Instagram or you go to TikTok, they usually have like a pinned picture or they have a pinned post, right? And it's the same type of idea. When I first go to someone's Instagram profile or a TikTok profile and they have 3 things pinned at the top, well, those things to them are usually like their best performing or like the way that they want to represent themselves or something that they're trying to sell you. It's just something that they want you to look at first. They don't want you to have to go through the entire feed and look for it and find it. They just want to say, hey, like, this is what I represent. This is what I want you to buy. This is what's important to me. So the same thing here with your featured section. It's like your pinned post, okay? So for me, same idea. Yours will probably be a little bit different if you're not doing this, but for me, I have a newsletter and I have a course that you can buy to learn how to get into Salesforce. So between those 2 things, this is free, this is paid. Those are the 2 values that I offer. So if you come to my profile and you do nothing else, I at least want you to know that I offer a free newsletter you could sign up for, or I offer a course that you could pay for and get in and learn how to get into the industry. So for you though, if you don't offer things like that, you could do things like Salesforce certificates, or you just graduated from college, or you had a really good post take off, or you did something awesome at work you wanted highlighted. Whatever it is, it's the idea of something that would stand out, make you unique, that you want people to pay attention to. That's what I would put into your featured section. That's allowed me to drive a lot of traffic to where I want people to go and, be able to subscribe in the places I want them to subscribe to. So tip number 4, take advantage of the featured section here. Tip number 5, what we're going to talk about is engaging and commenting. So another one that seems pretty dang obvious, but same idea. This platform is only going to work as much as you want to work for it, just like any of the others. I know that for a fact because I've had to do this from the ground up. Same thing on Twitter. Haven't been putting in the time and effort, and so I feel stagnant over there. I don't really grow, don't really do a whole lot because I just post and I never go and comment on people's stuff. I never like other people's stuff on Twitter. And so I don't grow. I don't get a lot of attention. I don't get people reaching out to me as much. LinkedIn is very different. I make sure that I comment on, 5 people's posts at least every single day. I post 2 times a day. I'm very, very active here. And because of that, that allows me these different opportunities. So one I wanted to show you is, here's an example, okay? So this is somebody else's post. They posted about, something to do with a LinkedIn profile. I went over there and I just added on in the comment section of something else that people could do. This ended up generating 284 likes over a week with 15 comments. Plenty of people followed me, plenty of people DM'd me about it. And so you don't necessarily have to create your own content to stand out on the platform, which is really cool. And this works for a lot of social platforms. But this one, is super awesome over here too, just because that can generate, recruiters coming into your profile, checking you out or DMing you. You never know who's going to be looking at these different people's posts. So what I recommend is something similar. I found anywhere from like 5 to 7 people in my industry or do things that I also want to be known for. So this particular comment was on somebody that helps you get hired in general into tech. Mine's pretty similar. Salesforce is in tech. A lot of it is in tech. And I'm also trying to help you get hired to do something inside the Salesforce industry. So very, very similar to me. I want to comment on his stuff all the time because we have a very similar audience. So people that follow him probably will want to follow me, or might want to follow me, I should say. And so when I post on his stuff, I tend to get a lot more likes. People feed into it a lot better because it's very, very similar, right? We're doing similar stuff. And I'm helping him out by offering more value on his post. More people see it, more likes, more generation for whatever he's doing. So it's a really easy way for you to jump over and do that same thing. So as a recap, those are the 5 things. So number 1, go to photofiller.com, upload a great picture, get the feedback if you need to. Number 2, come up here and write an awesome headline. Okay, make sure that you're writing something that is going to stand out, really to the point, easy to use, all that good jazz. Number 3, featured section. Make sure that you come down here and that you have all the right things of where you want to point people to so that they can find the resources and make you stand out as an authority the way that you'd want to. Tip number 4, make sure that you're going to Resi Match, uploading the job descriptions that we talked about for the industry you're trying to get into, using those keywords, putting them in your profile, just like I have with Salesforce. And then number 5, you just saw, comment and engage with other people. Now, it's a really easy path. Doesn't mean that it's going to be super straightforward and quick to get there, right? It's simple. You don't have to do a lot. It's not a complex process. It's more about your consistency. So as I've said, this has been 2.5 years of me doing this literally every single day. You don't need to do it for 2.5 years to see results. But at the same time, if you think that you're going to show up, do this once, do it for a week, do it for a month, and then your life's going to change, chances are really slim of that happening, right? You can see some great results in that time period, but keep in mind doing these things over a longer period of time is what's going to yield those results and make it super worth it. Like we said in here, 107 different job offers as you go down the list here of different people that have reached out offering me these different positions, and increased my salary 356% in the last 4 years. So it's been very worth it, in my opinion, to do these things and put me in a position to where I'm not, hoping and praying that nothing happens to my job. I just know that I always have a job because all these come into my DMs every single week. So if you want to do the same thing, make sure you implement the same 5 steps that we talked about today.